Hi, and welcome to 13 Now. I'm Elaine Houston, and we have a lot of news to talk about, but really the weather dominates. So I'm going to add Paul Caiano to our stream here. We are in for some inclement weather, Paul. You want to take it away and tell us just what we're looking for because I believe we're going to have an alert day, right?
Yeah, we've issued the alert day. It's going to begin tomorrow afternoon, Elaine, and continue right through Friday. It's a multi-hazard storm, which means there's a lot of different factors that could come into play here in the capital region from this one storm. The least of which, believe it or not, is a lot of snow. It just doesn't look like that's going to happen here in this particular situation, but maybe everything else, we may run the gamut here. So let's take a look at that graphic to outline at least the three major factors that I think could be contributors to a tough end to this week leading into the holiday. Strong winds, starting late tomorrow and tomorrow night through Friday, which could lead to power outages across the region. We're talking about wind gusts that could exceed 40, even 50 miles per hour. When that happens, we usually see power go out in at least some communities. So that's possible with this next storm. Now, we're going to get mild into the 50s on Friday morning. But with the drop of a hat, and I mean in a matter of a couple of hours, it's going to plummet back through the 40s and 30s and go below freezing. So there is the potential for what we call a flash freeze. That's when things that are wet on the ground, like water from rain or snowmelt, freeze up quickly as that temperature nosedives past freezing. So if that happens on Friday, things can ice up and make for a tricky afternoon and evening commute. So again, that's number two. And then there's a heavy rain risk as well at the leading edge of the storm Thursday night and Friday morning. And while I don't think this is a huge probability, there is the chance that some area streams and creeks may reach bankfill, not only because of the rain, but the snow melt. Remember, the hill towns got a lot of snow with this last storm. And if a lot of that melts off, it contributes to the rising streams and creeks. All right, how much wind we're talking about? In the valley, over 40 miles an hour on Friday morning and into the afternoon. In the hills and mountains, over 50 miles an hour. So that's out ahead of the storm. Behind it, look at this brutally cold air that comes sweeping into the deep south. And up here in the greater capital district, check this out. 51 degrees in Albany at noon on Friday. And at the same time, 2 in Cleveland. And that contrast, that difference is going to bring a lot of wind our way, but a lot of cold air will sweep to the east for the second half of the day Friday. And that's why we're talking about the potential for that flash freeze. So a lot of rain out ahead of the system, maybe some wet snow at the onset Thursday afternoon. So we'll need that umbrella. And also the ice melt is also a possibility and a requirement as temperatures start to plummet. Outside right now, it's just gorgeous. Temperatures in the 30s. It's quiet on the first warning live Doppler radar. No problems regionally with high pressure in control. The hour-by-hour forecast shows a cold night with temperatures dropping back through the 20s. And look at the hour-by-hour temperatures for Friday. 50s to start, and then by the end of the day, look at them plummet back through the 40s and 30s. By 2 p.m., already below freezing, and that's not all. Look at this, going way down into the teens and single digits. So there's going to be some big-time changes around here, starting with rain and milder air on Thursday night and Friday. We could get a little bit of snow at the onset Thursday afternoon. So we'll keep our eye on that for the evening commute. But rain really is the dominant weather precipitation type, and some of it heavy at times. You can see here on the graphic through Friday morning. And then with that sweeping change on the tail end, the green goes back to blue, which means we could see a coating of snow, Elaine, on the back edge of this thing as everything cools off dramatically on late in the day on Friday and into Friday night. So big time changes, a multi-hazard potential storm here, but certainly a lot of rain and wind will be the dominant features.
Paul, can you talk about across the country is that the cyclone? Because I think just about every state is involved in getting some sort of weather activity with that.
Yeah, this is the storm that we're talking about for us that's going to be impacting and already impacting parts of the Midwest, the plains, the Great Lakes, some places with blizzard conditions on the colder side of the storm. Chicago is going to get hit hard with a bunch of snow and wind right during the peak travel. So travel advisories are out. And then the deep south will get part of that cold that we're going to see. Temperatures in Florida for folks traveling for the holiday are going to be extremely cold, only in the 40s on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
All right, Paul, thanks so very much. And you'll have an update later on at 4 o'clock for us. So thanks so much. Okay.
Thank you. We'll see you then.
All right, Paul, we'll see you then. We also now are going to just talk about the travel and what's going on with that, because a lot of people are heading out, in the midst of some of this travel, and there may be some delays. So we just want to kind of update people and tell them what's happening. Travelers are being told to pack their patients with them as they head home for the holidays. The weather that Paul was talking about will likely impact travel, and the experts are saying that if you get to the airport, you find out that your flight is delayed or canceled, get to the ticket agent and get to work. They are saying that calling the airline might be faster than actually waiting in line. So why don't you try and do both? They say. Try to get rebooked on another flight, or you might have to book a whole new flight. Whatever you do, they say, remember that attitude is everything. And some breaking news now in the Schoharie limo trial. Naaman Hussein, the operator of the limousine company involved in a deadly crash in Schoharie, appeared in court earlier today. The judge ruled that Hussein can remove his GPS tracking device. His attorney says that the trial now will be set for September 2020, will be set for May, I should say, in September of 2021. He pleaded guilty to 20 counts of negligent homicide, and in his plea, Hussein agreed to 5 years of probation and 1,000 hours of community service. However, a judge overseeing that case saw that deal and said that it was actually flawed. And that judge said that he was going to throw it out, and he did. And that was the day that Hussein was supposed to actually be sentenced. His lawyers argue that the judge overstepped his authority. Well, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky landed at an airbase in Washington. He meets with the president and Congress. That trip will be his first outside Ukraine since Russia's invasion in February. It will also highlight President Biden's role in revealing the new Western alliance that he was trying to revive. And we will have much more tonight in our evening newscast. And we end with the Yankees, who named Aaron Judge as a new captain of the team today in a news conference announcing his new 9-year, $360 million contract. He becomes the 16th captain in team history. The owner, Hal Steinbrenner, said that it was difficult to even imagine the Yankees without Aaron. Judge again signed the largest deal in Yankees history after hitting a record-breaking 62 home runs in 2022. And I did that story for my producers in the box with me, Chris. And so, Chris, that was. And congratulations to Aaron Judge for all the great things that are coming his way. Thanks so much for joining. We're going to wrap that up now. We appreciate you joining. We will see you tonight starting at 4. I'll see you at 5 and 5:30. And I'm actually co-anchoring with Sabrina, so I'll see you at 6 as well. Have a nice day.